Hi, welcome to a really misty and quite damp Quinta, and today Nicholas is on a fun run in Guarda and some updates on the polytunnel, so let's go and have a look at that quickly. So the other day we got some IBCs delivered, so let's have a look at that quickly. We've all come together and we've got a load of IBCs, and they're going to be really good because we'll be able to put one into the the polytunnel, and that will hopefully regulate the temperature, give us a little bit of extra water storage. The intention is to also use a couple to make up a worm composting sewage system, and yeah, then we'll have a spare, so we'll go and load those up and see what we do with them. No, I didn't realise we were going to do it either. You're right to get down. Okay. And if you put your end down. Oh, it's gonna start raining again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one of the IBCs into the polytunnel, and I've got these massive spider in there, look at that. I've got some of these concrete blocks because I just want to pop it off the ground a little bit because they are on wooden pallets, and that of course in contact with soil is going to rot. So I'm going to carry these down, and yeah, might be easier with two hands, to be honest. Okay, so I'm going to mount the IBC on these blocks, and there's a couple of reasons. I started chucking it down again. There's a couple of reasons I want to do that. First of all, in strong winds this does move around a bit, and if that's got 1,000 litres or a ton of water in it, then that is actually going to hold things down, hopefully. And the other point is temperature regulation. It takes an awful lot of energy to heat up that amount of water and also to cool it down. So what's going to happen is during the day the sun's rays are going to warm up the water. At night it's actually going to release that heat, and the temperature in the greenhouse is therefore going to remain more constant. That's the theory anyway. Right, that really is quite a big thing. Having it raised off the ground a bit means I'll be able to get hold of the tap. Although the primary point of having this in here isn't for watering, it may well come in useful. There we go. Smells slightly fruity in there, so I don't know what it was originally used to transport. So that's going to take some time to fill up. Now, of course, this is taking up quite a considerable amount of space, cubic meter. But I think it's probably worthwhile because it's going to smooth out the temperature a little bit. During the hottest parts of the day, it's going to be taking in heat and of course giving it out in the cooler parts of night. So we'll see, and of course it'll serve as a table, I guess. So just coming up to 1,000 litres. I'm just going to top that off. So these IBCs we paid, I think it was €70 each delivered, and I couldn't think of a more economical way of regulating the temperature in this little polytunnel. If you've got any ideas of a better solution, then do let me know, because I'm all ears. But I really do think the fact that water does take an awful lot to heat it up and cool it down makes this the really good solution here. You know, we don't need to do anything about it. I could put some bleach in here because I'm absolutely sure that there's going to be algae growing, but again, I don't really want to be putting chemicals into here just in case I want to water my crops with them. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to put the lid back on it, and any oxygen in there that is, you know, used, any carbon dioxide that is used by the algae to build itself up, should run out in a sealed container, and with any luck it won't go completely like sludge. Might be famous last words on that. Of course, what will probably happen is it's going to create its own ecosystem, isn't it? Thinking about it, because the carbon cycle is going to happen in miniature inside this. I guess that's quite an interesting experiment in itself, really. How long will a sealed system actually last and survive? I did see, can't remember where it was, probably on YouTube, somebody created a garden in a bottle, and they'd sealed it, and I think it was sealed in 1972, and it's still going. Yeah, that's got me thinking now. If you've got any ideas, put them down in the comments, I'll give it a try. There we go, a sealed system. Jolly good. Right, let's go and have a cup of tea because it's chucking it down again. Another IBC. What am I going to do with that one? So many of you remember in a previous video, we actually planted 5,000 trees. They're little plug plants, so rather than great big ones. And lots of people have been asking how many of those actually survived. So I promise, do a video coming up, and we'll have a look-see and how they got on. The summer was quite warm and quite dry, so you know, lots of them won't have made it, but the ones that have survived a whole year should now be able to establish and become large, beautiful trees, which will then grow out and stop the brambles and all the other muck growing from underneath. And that is a big factor in fire. Brambles burn really hot and long time, as does the broom. So the less we have of that, the better.